Did I do it?
Mr. Worf, arm phaser banks and photon torpedoes. If Lwaxana Troi is not in my arms in 10 seconds, throw everything you've got. 9, 8. 'Tis better to have loved and lost than never to have loved at all. 7, 6.
No, wait.
5, 4.
Beam her to their
3,
bridge, now.
2, 1.
You wonderfully jealous fool, you.
Hello and good evening and happy St. Patrick's Day Eve to all those who celebrate. Star Trek The Next Generation Season 3, Episode 24, Ménage à Troi, first aired back in 1990. But here in 2026 on Live Long and Podcast, we're just getting started. Whether you're joining us live on YouTube, Twitch, or Facebook, or catching the audio version wherever you get your podcasts, our mission to rewatch every episode of TNG continues. One Ferengi kidnapping, one mother-daughter argument, and one over-the-top Picard love poem performance at a time. And now, this is your captain speaking. I am your host, Dave Mader. And we got a great panel here, once again, to break this all down. Coming in first, shall I compare her to a summer's day? She's here for the emotional truth beneath the hijinks, Deanna's frustrations, Lwaxana's fierce love, and Picard's unexpectedly heartfelt performance to save the day. And when it comes to Dave Mader, she's always seeking harmony, balance, and maybe a little Gemma Haran. She's my wife, Dave Mader, or Jay Mader.
Hello. Dave Mader here.
Dave Mader, sorry. It was so great until I forgot your name.
Well, I thought you were talking about Heather until the end of it. And they're like, oh, it's me.
No, I would never. Well, Heather has a very nice intro too, but it would never be superseding yours. Right. Yes, thank you. Welcome, Jane. And on that, stylish and sharp and always dressed to the nines, she's tuned into the emotional core. She's watching every beat of the Troi family dynamic, the affection, the frustration, the chaos, and how Deanna navigates both a hostage and a daughter. When empathy meets comedy, our goddess of empathy and a daughter of the fifth house of Beta Z, it's Heather Narduzzi.
Heir to the holy rings of Beta Z and holder of the sacred chalice of Reeks and wielder of the hot glue gun, honeys. I am here serving Lwaxana realness. I love this episode. I'm so excited that we're all here to talk about it.
Me too. Looking fabulous, Heather. Welcome.
Yep.
And joining us, a last-minute substitution, as we were supposed to be joined by our resident Portuguese master of love, but he had to drop out. So coming in here tonight, he's tracking the power dynamics. Riker versus the Ferengi. Deanna versus her mother and her overbearing charm. Lwaxana versus literally anyone who tries to tell her no. When the episode asks what it means to navigate negotiate under pressure, he's locked in. A guy who's only watched this episode twice, Adam Woodward.
Hey, guys. First, Heather, we salute you. This is amazing.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm happy to be here, Dave, to talk about this episode. This is, of all the Star Trek that I've watched countless times, this episode I've only seen twice, including yesterday. So
you watched it like 1990, so like 36 years ago, and now is that what you're saying?
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was never a Lwaxana fan. Sorry, Heather. And so I just got put off by it and never came back.
Well, hey, we're going to talk
all
about.
She calls Worf Mr. Wolf. I like that.
Mr. Wolf?
Yeah.
Did she do that in this episode?
No.
Not this
this
one, I
one.
don't think.
No. Okay. Yes, of course, live
She's
stream
busy
here.
rolling her eyes at the Ferengi.
Yes. Yes, she is a lot. This is a live stream here. So comments coming in. The Ferengis are perverts. That's apropos, I'd say. Thanks for the comment, Sam. This episode is so good, it's bad. Oh, okay. We're gonna have to talk all about that. So we are talking about the 72nd episode of Star Trek: The Next Generation, Ménage a Troi, originally aired May 28th, 1990, written by Fred Bronson and Susan Sackett, and directed by Robert Legato. Then this one, a Ferengi DaiMon kidnaps Riker, Deanna, and Lwaxana Troi, hoping to use them as bargaining chips or as, for her telepathic abilities and as a romantic trophy. The Enterprise must track them down while Picard delivers one of his most dramatic rescues in Trek history. And there's also this B plot with Wesley Crusher. He's supposed to catch his bus to Starfleet Academy, but he misses it, and apparently he can't get another bus. He has to wait a whole year, which is a little weird, in my opinion.
Is that how far out they are? They're that far out that only the Bradbury can come get them or get him. It's like an Uber.
I guess, but I don't know. The Enterprise. It seems like they would probably cross by Earth at some point. They just picked up Sarek on Vulcan, which we know is close to Earth, and I don't know how far Beta Z is from Earth, but I don't think it's that far. But it doesn't matter. He doesn't even need to go to the Academy. He gets a uniform by the end of the episode, and he kind of gets
big for him. They didn't tailor it.
It does look a little weird on him, quite frankly, because they don't get him on in the. Normally, he has this muscle suit thing underneath, and I don't think they have that when he puts that on at the end. So Heather, would you say you like this episode or you dislike this episode?
I love this episode. So I think it's just so fun and so camp, and the costumes that Lwaxana wears. This is a pale imitation of what she's actually wearing in the episode, which is my all-time favorite outfit she wears. The 80s splendor, the fashion of it all, the hairdo. She wears 5 different things in this. I love it. And off the top of the episode, I would like to say that, and Jane, as my fellow woman on this panel, maybe you've experienced this as well. When I got into Star Trek, nobody in my family was into it, so I didn't watch it growing up. I started watching it cold when I was 16, when Generations came out, 15 or 16, right? So everyone around me who liked Star Trek was a guy. And I feel that not necessarily because my guy friends were misogynist, but because there was at the time a lot of internalized misogyny toward Star Trek, toward the fandom, and the attitude I found was often, ugh, it's a Deanna episode, ugh, it's a Crusher episode, ugh, Lwaxana, God, and because maybe, and I hate to admit this, maybe I was a bit of a pick-me when I was young and kind of finding my way in the world, and so that was how I viewed those episodes when I was younger. But as I've gotten older, and there's just so much more discourse available about Star Trek and different voices and different perspectives about it, I've really come to look at it through a different lens with different eyes. And Lwaxana, I think, gets a lot of undeserved hate, as I feel Keiko does as well. And I just adore Lwaxana episodes. I think she's so fun and campy and adds a lot as I was going to say tertiary character, but I don't know if she's even tertiary. But I just love all the Lwaxana episodes, and I do know she's a really polarizing figure. So
I'd say she's one of the more polarizing figures, more so than Keiko, I would say. Lwaxana, I think, hits a nerve in particular for a lot of men. For any kind of overbearing mother-in-law type or grandmother type character in the family. So I remember when we were doing the podcast with Shives on the Deep Space Nine episode where there's
Xanthe fever.
And I remember
fascination, love it.
Yeah, and I remember that the Shives was very much against Lwaxana, and to the point where I was like, I think there might be some personal baggage he's bringing along for this. You know, and that's my take on her. Like, but for me, Lwaxana feels so like such a real person. Like, you know, like sometimes even more so than like the main cast because they're so perfect and they're so awesome. And, you know, she's a little bit annoying and pushy and she can read everyone's minds and she knows she's making people uncomfortable. Right. So it's kind of like it's an interesting dynamic with her. And coming from a family where, you know, I guess, you know, they almost sometimes get some joy out of seeing you squirm like that. It definitely something I relate to. Okay, well, Jane,
I just want to say something because I feel like I should. Because I originally said I'm not a fan of Lwaxana, and it's simply not because of Lwaxana. It's more about, first of all, as this season's going on, Riker is annoying the crap out of me, and even this episode more than ever. So maybe that was part of it, but I really do like the Lwaxana Timothy episode. That one was really great.
That is really good. Yeah.
Oh, the one where like the Death Wish one.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, that's a great episode. I think she has a lot of great appearances. I'm a fan of her. I got the one with her and Alexander is probably my least favorite. But
the higher, the fewer. It's so fun.
It's fun, but it's not my favorite. I guess you know that's all.
Yeah.
And the one with like the one that had Kirsten Dunst come in as a guest star.
That one. Yeah.
That was such a sad one, but like I think Majel Barrett gets a lot of undue you know just people trashing her like and her like she was a very good actress and a very good you know performer, and you know we saw her play Nurse Chapel but also Number One and this character but and the voice of the computer, and I think like her legacy in Star Trek is undeniable for me. But
I agree, and I just think that it seems to me now that she is getting her flowers more so than she did in the 90s. Like people recognize her contribution to Star Trek a lot more now, myself included. And I think that's great. I really like that.
Yeah, me too. Jane, do you have any thoughts about this episode?
I would just say, Heather, I had a different experience getting into Star Trek. My grandmother was into it. And so I'd go over there, you know, on the weekends and late at night, stay up and watch Star Trek on reruns.
Oh, she froze there.
Jane, come back. Jane.
I hadn't heard this story before. I was looking forward to it.
Oh. Jane, you froze for a moment. Oh, now we can't hear you. Oh no. Hi.
Well, you got to unmute yourself.
Hey. It muted
Oh,
me.
great.
Okay.
So you were saying that you would stay up late and watch Star Trek with your grandmother.
Grandmother on, you know, babysitting, and then a couple of my aunts were very much into Star Trek. So yeah, good different. I had females in my life that were into this, which is a good influence, I guess. But you know, love Lwaxana, I always have. And this episode, I guess I thought it was just you know, when we started doing these, the podcasting again, and we Star Trek Radio Theater, at the beginning, we used to do like a spinning wheel that would just kind of pick the episodes for us randomly. And this episode came up, like, okay, we're going to do this one. And it was like, yeah, I didn't love it, you know, or, you know, it was just a mid one. And we did it. It was a lot of fun. It was fun. But rewatching it again here, like 4 years later, I don't think I've really revisited it since. I forgot how like there are very dark parts of it too in this episode, like where I was like, oh, when that bed comes out, like not so fun. So yeah.
Yeah, I think the Ferengi get off way too light in this episode. You know, but that's kind of space justice. It seems like in Star Trek sometimes, where what are we gonna do? They're bad guys. They're on the other ship and they're gonna fly away. What are we gonna do? Arrest them? Like maybe, you know. But whatever. Okay, not to be misogynistic, which is always a great way to start a thought. So I think like Majel Barrett famously was the like Gene Roddenberry's mistress when he was on original series. He was married to somebody else at the time of the original series, and during this show, he's also has a mistress on Majel Barrett, which is Susan Sackett, who is like his secretary and the co-writer of this episode. And the episode's called Ménage à Troi, which is a play on Ménage à Trois. I don't know what to make of any of that. I don't know if that
is that do you have any sexy fun facts about that, Adam?
I'll have to figure that out, but
yeah, but I just wonder if any of that kind of stuff is part of the dislike around her character or around these story. I don't know. Like I
think that there's just a general feeling of same with nepotism or anything where people get jobs because they're thought, it's a family member or it's a lover or whatever it is. I mean, Marina Sirtis had the same comments made about her. How'd she get the job? Well, she ingratiated herself to
right.
And misogyny,
yeah. And Terry Farrell, very much the same, on D Space Nine. And yeah,
we can all agree that Gene Roddenberry and Rick Berman were not the most feminist of men.
Not the most. I would say that's accurate. I don't know.
Yeah.
But
anyway.
I just noticed, Jane, just one more thing about this. Jane, I do notice both you and Ashley come from very feminist perspectives when we're discussing Star Trek. And I find when I was young and watching it, I heard a lot of like, oh, the one time they let Troi drive the ship, she crashes it. Like that kind of thing. And I mean, I made that joke when I was young, but I don't find like you and Ashley come from that perspective. And I, as an adult, am not coming from that perspective either. So it's nice to look at old episodes with fresh lens.
Fresh eyes, yeah.
Yeah. And if anything, I like Crusher and Troi. Well, I never really felt like that. Like I hate is a Troi episode, but I definitely like them even more now, talking to you guys about them. And with that all said, we can jump into the episode. Let's talk about it and everything we saw in our screenshot. So the Enterprise starts off this episode at Beta Z for the annual trade conference, which I guess the Betazoids host. This is the first time we visit Beta Z. It's a very Earth-like planet, so it seems very desirable.
I noticed in this episode, continuity-wise, that they refer to themselves as a Beta Z rather than Betazoid. Like they're not super sticky on which terminology they're using. That's just a little thing, though.
Yeah, I wonder if they even knew what the planet's name was before they named the Betazoids. But yeah, here we are. There's I guess a reception here in the 10 Forward on the Enterprise, and there's this guy playing these what do you call these, chimes, I guess, and like the little doo 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 doo.
I love it. I love that little melody. I had forgotten about it.
Yeah. So this will come to be important in the episode. Meanwhile, Riker is playing three-dimensional chess with a Ferengi underling here. And the Ferengi guy thinks he's confident, and Riker's like, "Oh, I got you now. I'm the Mr. Chess." Like, everyone's standing around watching this chess match, and Riker just kind of takes him down. We'll find out later. He takes him down in 30 moves, but he was being polite. He could have done it in 20. No, is that why he's pissing you off, Adam?
I just don't know what his purpose is. Like,
First officer of the ship.
Yeah, but he doesn't. I think they struggled with what to do with him, honestly. This they really nail it in a couple episodes, by the way. Okay.
Best of both worlds. They'll figure out what to do with him.
Yeah. And then there are quite a lot of good Riker episodes in season 4. Future Imperfect is the one that stands out to me the most off the top of my head. But, I didn't really think about that until you mentioned it several times this season, Adam, and you're not wrong.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
What a high praise.
You're not wrong.
You're not wrong, sir.
We're not saying you're right, but we're not saying you're wrong. So it's.
But I mean, I just love Riker across the board, so I just tend to kind of blanket like him. But I think you're right. They didn't quite know what to do with him for a lot of this season.
But even how they write him, like what is he? He's like the guy who sleeps with all the women, and it's just an interesting character. And this episode, again, that whole, well, we get to it in a minute. I'll wait.
All right, let's get to it. Anyway, he beats the Ferengi guy in the chest, and then the Ferengi claims that I couldn't listen with all that noise, which I think is just to remind us the Ferengi sore losers. It's also, I think, to draw our attention to like the rhythm of those chimes, because they come to be an important part of this story. So a couple of things established here as we kind of cut back to the chimes. And then we find
very interesting comment from Stargazer Fish here. Riker plays as an extension of the audience. He's always puzzled and trying to understand what's happening around him. They do use him like that in this season for sure.
For sure. And they use Data sometimes in that role too, but I guess it depends on the context. Yeah. Anyway, so Picard is then having a drink with this Betazoid guy. Nibor, I think his name is. Or no, it's Ryden Grax, as played by Rudolph Wilrick. The second Betazoid male we're meeting after Tam Elbram earlier this season. I was like, look, there they go, black contact lenses. Why we can't give the Betazoids on Starfleet Academy those? I don't understand, but whatever. Anyway, the Beta. So we find out he's known Lwaxana a long time, going back to her first husband. I don't really understand if Troi's father is her first husband or not, but that's never quite explained. But whatever. I
think Troi's father is Lwaxana's second husband.
I think you're probably right. I never really thought about it till today when I was watching this, but I think that's probably true. Then we have Lwaxana over in 10 forward, eating while she's kind of talking telepathically to Deanna. And Deanna is, not necessarily enjoying the visit with her mother.
This look is incredible. The asymmetrical window boob, the piled hair up on top, the sparkles, gorgeous. I love it.
And when they made the Lwaxana action figure, like Playmates action figure years ago, it was this outfit, this particular scene that they based it on.
I
had this. I had the toy with that asymmetrical boob window, so I'm very familiar with it.
Jane, would you have picked this outfit if you were making a Lwaxana toy?
Toy? Oh, I'd have to look at all her outfits to find the best one. There's a lot of them out there. But I did notice the boobs. They were looking good for a lady her age. I was noticing.
Yeah, girl. They're looking good, period.
Yeah.
Yes, Lwaxana here, and Deanna doesn't like her talking to her telepathically, but Lwaxana's like, I'm eating. You want me to eat with my mouth full? And I don't know. It's like Lwaxana's the overbearing mother, wants her daughter to get married and have babies and settle down, and it's kind of that old trope. That's what made her happy. Why? Well, that can make you happy, And then Riker comes along and he kind of rescues Deanna from her mother, but Lwaxana is always like, "Why don't you just marry Commander Riker?" And then which she eventually does, But I don't know, not on the timeline that Lwaxana wanted. Anyway. So they kind of scurry away here while Lwaxana is like, I don't know, just plotting her next move that she's going to put into her daughter's ear or to
Where's
somebody else.
Mr. Hum with the gong, though? Is he slacking?
Yeah, I guess this isn't a formal Betazoid meal. Maybe this is just a cocktail reception.
Sure.
Anyway, we then meet.
Sorry, what's the alien behind there? Is it like a Tendi kind of character?
Blue?
Huh.
Could be a Bolian. Yeah, or... Maybe, I don't know. This guy's pretty weird looking too up here.
I think he's one of those snake guys.
He might be a snake man. Anyway, so then we meet our Ferengi characters. DaiMon Togg, as played by Frank Carcentino. And Ethan Phillips, everyone, is playing Dr. Ferrick. Of course, Ethan Phillips, famous for playing Neelix on Voyager, but this was the first time I think he ever was in a Star Trek episode.
And you just recognize his voice right away.
Oh, yeah. And as we found out on the Star Trek cruise, he's really more known as Johnny Phillips to his friends. Not Ethan, I guess more of his proper name and stage name. But he's quite the character.
Money from Ethan.
I don't know. That's what they call him. Anyway, so Damon Togg is enamored with Lwaxana Troi, whereas Dr. Ferrick finds all of this disgusting and all these, he's not interested in these aliens and the non-Ferengi, but Damon Togg very much is enamored with Lwaxana's asymmetrical boob window and maybe more. Who knows? So, and he decides he wants to, I guess, pursue her. So he approaches her at her table, and she's not having it at all. She's not too. She was like, "Why are you talking to me?" And then he kind of starts saying like, "I would like to." He says it in an offensive way. Whatever he's intent, it goes about as badly as it could for someone who actually seems a little bit earnest. Like for a Ferengi, I think he's kind of trying. But he doesn't really have a roadmap here.
So Dave, this is where he actually offers her, like, he wants to buy her.
He wants to buy her. He wants to, yeah. And then, so Lwaxana tries to get away from him, and then comes over to Captain Picard, who then makes up this excuse to get away from her. He's like, "I need to show you the new mechanism on the aft turbolifts. Sorry, I have no time for you, Lwaxana," which is a hilarious little bit. Then when Captain Picard blows her off, then Damon Togg comes in again to talk to Lwaxana. I think this is where he says like every Betazoid or every woman has a price. Every female, I think is how he words it.
It's definitely female.
Yeah.
Yes, and then she's like she quickly drops any level of politeness or sort of formality she was going for here, and she's like, "Listen here, you little toad," and gets the attention of everyone in Temp Forward, including Deanna and Riker. Riker seems mostly amused by the whole thing. As she tells him that no one will ever buy her, and shove it up or shove it down his ears or whatever else, So anyway, Deanna a little embarrassed. Riker finds it great. And that's sort of the moment here. And then after Dr. Ferrick's like, can we go? You have not embarrassed us enough. But Damon Togg more determined than ever that he will have Lwaxana Troi. And that is our teaser for the episode. Coming off, then we have our title card, Ménage à Troi, as Deanna. Then she has a quick little conversation here with Lieutenant Worf, asking if we're at war with the Ferengi now after the whole incident in 10 Forward, but it's more in jest. Worf said he finds Lwaxana formidable and impressive for telling those Ferengi off. So he's all about it. And Deanna says she's going to pass that along to her mother, who just happens to be on the other side of this wall as she's in her quarters. Come in, little one, as she likes to say to her. And I always enjoy these Deanna Lwaxana scenes. This one, Lwaxana is like laying down with all these candles lit, trying to get over that whole incident with the Ferengi, and then Deanna apologizes for being so short with her mother all the time, getting so upset. But she's like, well, if you just got married to Riker, then everything would be great, and this is where Deanna, the patience she has to show her mother all the time. And she's like, you can be happy. And she's like, I am happy, but not really.
And she starts acting like a kid.
Yeah.
I find that so relatable because nothing turns you back into a child like bickering with your mom.
Yep.
That's true.
That's true. Yeah.
For sure.
Look at this dress. This is a great view of it. Look at that wide belt and the cinched waist. Yes, bitch.
Oh, yeah.
She looks so good.
The one I noticed today watching it was like the earrings that go with it also. And it was a great look. Anyway, she calls Deanna little one or whatever, and Deanna does not like it.
Little one.
That's what I was called when I was younger. So, little one, don't you ever call me that. I'm a grown woman. Mm-hmm. Then why aren't you having babies yet? Says her mother. But there she goes. So Deanna goes, and I don't know, like. Again, Lwaxana, very relatable for me. Like, not from my mother, nor my grandmother, but like it's definitely.
Well, she did feel bad. You could tell in the scene. She's trying with Deanna. She felt bad.
I always like when she does this too. Rats.
Yeah. Whoops. Oh yeah, you got me there. Anyway, so Deanna has to kind of go away. After that, then we get our next scene, which is about Wesley Crusher being like a super smart prodigy guy, and he figured something out with a microchip, and Geordi and Data are.
This is the love scene, man. They're all like. Oh.
This is the love scene, yeah.
We couldn't have done it without Geordi, and we couldn't have done it without Data, and then but Wesley is the king.
Yeah, well, if Wesley came up with it, and Data's like, it's true. I can corroborate. I wouldn't tell a lie.
I think it's sweet. 3 daddies for Wesley.
Exactly. That's what they're definitely
He's
going
not gonna
for.
get that kind of love at the Academy. We know that.
No way.
No. Anyway, so then they also tell us that he's about to go off to the Academy, like they're getting ready for him to leave the Enterprise, which hasn't been teased at all yet this season until this moment or this episode. So kind of curious, but we'll come back to that. Anyway, and then after that part of the meeting breaks, it's just Picard and Riker, and Picard's like, why don't you take some shore leave on Beta Z? You know, like you take some vacation. Because they're planning to go to this stellar nursery, as they call it.
Is he getting him back for Riza here or something?
Maybe this is like a returning the favor for Riza.
Yeah.
Because Deanna had already asked to take the shore leave, so he's kind of nudging Riker. Why don't you go spend it with Deanna?
Wink,
Maybe
wink.
he's trying to get them to have babies too.
Yeah.
Maybe Lwaxana and Picard are in cahoots on this. I'm putting out a theory. Because not only does Riker say okay and agree to this, he fully, he's like, not only am I going to take some shore leave on Beta Z, I am going.
He puts on his best blue shirt.
We get to see Beta Z from the surface here with these, whatever these things are in the background, these little platforms. Maybe they're buildings. I'm not quite sure. Here in this lagoon.
It's really pretty, and I know novels aren't canon, but for anybody who's read the novels Imzadi, based on their backstory, they first fell in love marooned in the jungles of Beta Z. So that is very much giving this vibe. They're like rekindling.
They're rekindling
benefits.
What is the story? He was stationed there?
As an ensign. He was stationed there.
She was
a student. She was a student at the university.
The university. She hadn't gone into Star Trek at all yet.
That's right.
Right. And so
this is the part that gets me. Like, he's her boss. Like, he's the executive officer on the ship.
Mm-hmm.
And nobody ever sleeps with their boss.
No.
Preferably not, but it happens.
It's okay.
Like, what's Deanna just slides right into this? Whatever. It's up
I was just kind of like, I'm like, are they a thing now again, or is this like I don't know. I always get a little bit confused about their relationship because they say
it transcends time and space and boss and underling and whatever.
So does this imply that on the ship when they want to hook up, they hook up?
I think so.
All right.
That seems to be a prevailing theory, although they're free to date other people, it seems like, as well. And they come to this
dress is so cute, and I love that it echoes the colors of what Lwaxana is wearing when she unceremoniously crashes their date in a minute.
Yeah, and so they're coming back to this spot where they planted this flower that has like a jingle bell sound or whatever, and like they planted it years ago. So they're coming back, but I was always like, how does Lwaxana know they're there? Is this like where Deanna's from? Is this like her family home or estate, or is it just a huge coincidence that Lwaxana just happens to be at this park at the same time they are? Could be sensors. Could be like maybe she has a homing beacon on Deanna, so she can always find her. Who's to say? Anyway, so they go find the little flower, and I guess there's romance in the air. They're feeling the old feelings of years ago, and there's some looks here, and then some kisses. But just as they're about to move, Riker's go in for the kiss. Who shows up in the background with the umbrella? I think is my favorite part for the whole outfit. It just really sells it. It's Lwaxana, and Mr. Hom, he's here as well for the picnic. And And then she hears her mother, and I just love this, like when she puts his head on the chest there, and they're like, "Oh God, it's her! Here we go again." But she is a big Federation ambassador too, right? So Riker's got to play nice. Anyway, so I know this is like a specific place in LA that they always film basically this at. Probably will come up in fun facts, but. It's a nice little park, and the scene here is they start having this little picnic. Riker gets to try the oscoid, which is very different. I think I pulled that one. Where is that?
Try the oscoid. Very different.
Yeah, it's got the sap in there. Anyway, so is this where? Lwaxana is like saying like, kind of nudging them to maybe look at getting married. She sends Mr. Hom off to go pick Uda berries, Betazoid Uda berries, and she doesn't even say please. Anyway, but this will be a problem because he's not there when they get beamed away in a minute. As DaiMon Tog shows up, and Riker's like, "What the hell are you doing here?" But he's here with a bouquet of ugly-looking Ferengi flowers to give to Lwaxana. And I think it's even more incredible that they're surrounded by much nicer flowers at the moment. He's here to give her flowers, and they're all kind of rolling their eyes at this whole thing, not really understanding the danger that is coming. As DaiMon Tog says, "Beam us up, beam us 3 to beam up," and before they can really say anything about it or call for help or anything, they are beamed off here by the Ferengi ship. Just for Mr. Hom to show up with the Uda berries, and he doesn't know where they are. Meanwhile,
Even Mr. Hom gets a good outfit in this episode.
Yeah, he gets a good one there, yeah. And I guess Uda berries are kind of like a weird turquoise color. So for anyone who's keeping track,
Turquoise?
Yeah, turquoise. Yeah. Anyway, on the Ferengi ship, the Creton, I think it's called, we see here 2 Ferengi guys playing chess, and we see Riker and the 2 Troi women wake up in the cell. I guess they were unconscious after the beam up.
They put Lwaxana on the floor. That's what I was wondering. What's with the placement?
Yeah, why were they placed on beds and she wasn't? I can't answer. Can't quite answer that. Anyway,
well,
so then
maybe it's the Ferengi thing. The male is on the bed and the 2 females are on the floor.
Yeah.
But Deanna's on the bed too. There
goes that theory.
Yeah, I guess they only had 2 beds, and Riker and Deanna get them for whatever reason. Riker's he has his communicator, but they're too far away to call for help. There's a force field here, so they can't get out.
I think he would have known it would hurt.
Well, he was testing it out. He didn't ever,
Deanna got a couch, by the way. She didn't get a full bed.
You're right. They're not quite beds, but yeah, you can lay on them. Anyway, so once this guy, the chess guy, he'll call to say like, hey, they're conscious now, and then Deanna and Lwaxana get beamed out, but over to where Ferric and Tog are, but they get beamed out of their dresses. And over there,
I'm gonna have to get beamed out of this dress later because I hot glued it to myself.
Oh no!
Yeah, I always thought this was a cool effect when they did it.
Yeah, that is neat.
Yeah, so their clothes on the floor, and they materialize in another part of the ship, naked.
And Riker's like, "Why didn't I get to go?"
Yeah. Who's there? But Ferric is played by Ethan Phillips. Look at him; he's leering at us. I love her line of "even their transporters can't be trusted." Is a great one too. And then
she also made some comment about humans, like he leers like human men or something.
Yeah, he leers just like human men. Then Tog shows up, and he's. I don't know, whatever. Lwaxana just grabs blankets and she wraps her and Deanna in these blankets so they're not just standing in front of them fully naked. Because it's cold in here. You have to let me get some warmth. What we're told about the Ferengi. This is the first time I think they really established that Ferengi don't let their women wear clothing.
Females do not deserve the honor of clothing.
It's an honor.
How about that?
Yeah.
That's how she feels about that, and that's how we feel about it. Ferengi.
Yes. Anyway, but so Lwaxana gets them to send Deanna away, so that like Lwaxana can work on Tog, because she knows that he really wants her. I think there's actually quite a bit of heroics here from Lwaxana in this episode to protect Deanna more specifically, right? Like more of as a mother. You see that come through quite a bit in this episode, I think. And what we know she does not like Damon Tog at all, but she's willing to put up with a lot of this. Demon Tog, whatever your name is. Anyway, and then so she starts, I don't know, she's trying to be to kind of placate him to a certain degree, and then he takes her into this room, and he's like, he pushes the button, and then the bed comes out to speak about the dark moments that Jane was.
I just think just reminds me of the war stories you hear about women just having to go along with it to stay alive. Like it just happens too much in this world. I don't know. It just
Yeah,
just like I agree, and the look on her face, and she knows she's going to do what she has to do to keep them all safe and alive, but it's bleak.
It's bleak. Yeah. It's not great. Meanwhile, the Enterprise is going towards this stellar nursery, which means they're out of communication range. Beta Z can't call them, so they don't know anything about what's going on with Riker and Deanna. Meanwhile, you got Geordi and Wesley here. They're talking about Wesley going off to the academy. And he's like, well, I'll be back in like 4 years, and then I'll be back on the ship. And Data's like, first of all, you don't even know you'll be reassigned here. Like not all ensigns get stationed to Galaxy class starships, but I always thought I would be coming back, Wesley says. And Geordi makes a comment about how, you don't even know if Captain Picard can request you when, by the time you graduate. He might not even be captain of the ship anymore. So there's a bunch of these kinds of questions.
I like that scene. Yeah, I did. I thinking about it that way, and I felt for him. Yeah. Right.
Yeah. That he hadn't thought about any of these things, I guess, or they're just, so that's going to come into play here. Meanwhile, back on the Ferengi ship, Deanna and Lwaxana are still able to speak telepathically. Deanna now changed back into her clothes, from earlier. And she's getting the telepathy from Lwaxana. So she's working Damon Tog. So they decide they're going to work on the guard here in the cell who's playing chess. More specifically, Riker starts, taunting this guy. Well, like, don't do that move. Don't, you're going to get yourself checkmated. And he's like, I don't need any human advice. But Riker then says, oh, you're going to get beat off. And that's exactly what happens here as the other guard defeats him. And so then they basically start like a match here with Riker behind the force field. This is part of the plan to get out of the cell. Then we have Lwaxana back here with Tog as he's getting a drink, and I don't know, some of these moments, where like he'll start touching her and she'll like grab his hand, but then start, every time she'll when she looks away, she like scowls, and then when she looks at him, she has to smile, right? So you keep seeing that played out here. So we never get this the misconception that she's somehow enjoying any of this, as much as she has to kind of play the part. Then she's like, well, show me your affections, and then he's like the kissing whatever starts on here, and just Deanna's reaction as she can emote Lwaxana's true feelings. And basically her mother is nauseous or grossed out meanwhile, the Enterprise at the Stellar Nursery, they're checking out these the galactic phenomenon. Picard, basically this is nice, but like Picard is like, they're busy doing science stuff right now. That's why they don't know what's going on with Riker and Troi and Lwaxana. So we come to this, and then we come back to the Ferengi ship, where Riker's still trying to play chess with this guy. Now we'll find out later that they're on this ship for 2 days, or at least 2 days. So this was going on for a while. Riker gets tired of the game against the Ferengi guy and says, or he pretends to be tired of it. Well, I can't even see the board from here. Let me out of the cell. He's like, oh, you're trying to trick me. I'm not stupid. Well, he's like, fine, then who cares? We don't need to play anymore. And then he eventually reconsiders and goes, "Oh, maybe I can let you out if I point this phaser at you the whole time. What can go wrong?"
Not much.
Is Deanna always cold in this episode? This is the other thing I'm always trying to figure out. She's always like this.
I think she's also just showing her like her unease,
Vulnerability,
pulling herself in,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Anyway, so then Riker, when the time's right, he's going to eventually steal this guy's phaser and knock him out. But we'll come back to that. Then Lwaxana with Tog hair, and this is where she starts giving him the umox. This is where we learn about Ferengi umox for the first time in Canada.
Is this the first time we learn about umox? I think it is, eh?
It is, yeah. And so she starts stroking his ears, and she just thinks she's just like, kind of patting his head, but she then finds out that this is one of their most erogenous zones, so she's kind of giving him like some kind of sex here. I don't know I'm not sure exactly what the correct term would be, but
the correct term is umox.
There's a term.
There's no direct translation,
Thank goodness. Yes.
Anyway, so yeah, come back to the cell. Riker has knocked out the Ferengi guy. He lets out Deanna. Then he's trying to send a message off to the Enterprise, but he's locked out of the main computer. So he gets Deanna to contact her mother to say, okay, we need the computer codes. Can you get those from Damon Tog? And Lwaxana thinks, oh, okay, I can get those. I got this guy where I want him. And so she starts working. Yeah, she would have had it, but that Ferric, we'll come back to him. Meanwhile, on the Enterprise, they finally are far enough away from that nursery that they can get a message from Beta Z, and that Betazoid guy calls up and says, "We've been trying to call you for 2 days." He's like, "Well, our communications are out." Anyway, Lwaxana, Riker, Deanna, they're all missing. What? Oh, right. Picard's concerned. Meanwhile, on the Ferengi ship, this is where Lwaxana tries to make her move on Damon Tog by saying, like, "Oh, I can make you a fizz of some kind of drink in your replicator, but hey, I'll need your computer code." And I'm like, was Ferric just standing behind this grate the entire time? Is like what I keep trying to figure out.
Yeah, he was watching umox.
Yeah, what does that say?
She looks amazing here. I love the headband and the tiny metallic organza and the cut of this. Ugh.
Because in the dialogue, when she's talking to Deanna, she's like, "Damon Togg's give me something absolutely hideous to wear."
Well, it's not her favorite color. I don't think it's not bright and bold enough.
Yeah. What do you think, Jane?
I like it. I was a little confused if she had made it with those blankets, kind of.
It kind of looks like that, but
yeah.
But no, it's a proper dress that he gave her. Okay, yeah.
It's very Oz-like.
Yeah,
everything's green.
Follow the yellow brick road, as they say. Anyway, so she's almost got the computer code when Ferric, Ethan Phillips shows up and says, "Stop! You're about to give your code away to this woman. Like she was tricking you." How he knows all this, I don't know, but he
knows his boss.
He knows his boss, and he thinks his boss is weak, which he kind of is. And then he was like, I can get your command for this, DaiMon, but unless you let me do like these experiments on Lwaxana and figure out how her telepathy works. And he doesn't want to, but he cares more about himself and his business and whatever and he kind of like turns away. And then I don't have a screenshot, but there's that whole part where she's like, "No, don't take me to your torture chamber." Anyway, it's pretty dark, anyway. Meanwhile, back on Beta Z, they're looking for clues to what happened to Riker and Troi and Lwaxana. They find these old Ferengi flowers in the bog. That was fortunate. That they realize aren't native to the planet, and that's how they kind of get the lead that this was maybe the Ferengi that took them. Back on the Enterprise, they explain that this is, we think the Ferengi could be the ones, but we don't know where they are.
Can we see them again?
Like there?
Yeah, that's cedar with like puffs of cotton, wild cotton, it looks like.
Yeah, it's none.
A shitty Ferengi bouquet.
Exactly. Anyway, so they say that the Krita in the Ferengi ship is nearly as fast as the Enterprise, and because Data says, "Well, should I set a course? And Picard's, to where? We don't know where they are. So like, no, we're not going anywhere until we know which direction to go in. And it's like,
But then
touche.
how do they catch up with them? That's what I'm going to ask in a couple minutes.
Well, I think once they're able to detect that signal, they can kind of figure where they are, because they're not
finally went
close.
warp 9, Jane.
Yeah.
Warp
They finally
9?
went. They finally went warp 9.
Went warp 9. They
Yeah.
never did warp.
Just because the Ferengi ship is nearly as fast doesn't mean they're going top speed either, right?
Yeah.
So, anyway, so yeah, Riker can't get into the access code. He's blocked out no matter what, and without the computer codes, they can't do anything. But then he figures out if he can use this non-essential system, then he can kind of put this background static noise into it, and this is his ingenious plan that he could have came up with before Lwaxana ended up in the torture chamber. But hey,
See, this is when
hindsight.
Riker actually shows usefulness.
Mhm.
He on the Enterprise, he's got people who do all his work for him, but when he had to do something, he can do something.
Yeah. Well, he's a delegator,
Yes.
Anyway, then we got Lwaxana being tortured by Dr. Ferrick in his. He even put a lab coat on, which I thought was a nice touch. As he's probing her brain, and it seems to be quite uncomfortable for her. And Deanna's feeling that pain and anguish through her telepathic link to her mother, and says, "We have no more time. We have to go try to save our."
That must have been fun to make to film that. Deanna, make the face.
Oh,
Yes, Mr. Director. Here it comes. But anyway, so she's being tortured more. Riker and Troi, Deanna specifically, they go off to help her mother. And on the Enterprise, this is where they eventually do get the signal, the background static that's been given this chime sound from 10 forward from earlier. And it's Wesley's the one who picks up on it. None of the others pick up on it. Right, just as he's about to catch his bus, his ship to go back to Earth to Starfleet Academy. Worf's like, the Bradbury, they want to go, they need to go. They got a bunch of cadets, and so Wesley, you better have packed. Get your shit and let's go. No lengthy goodbyes, just go. We'll see you later. And there's this moment here where he kind of looks around the bridge because he's kind of leaving this part of his life. He'll actually only go on to be on the show for one more year after this, but or one more season, right? Before they finally do kind of get him out of there, or he leaves directly. But yeah, so he looks around here and he thinks he's saying goodbye. And finally, Dr. Crusher shows up in this episode. That's about her son going off to the academy. She's packed his bags, and she says, "Okay, we'll have a good one, Wesley." And just then, that's just when he has this epiphany. Oh. It's the static. I can't call from the Bradbury. I could never we could never have this conversation over subspace. No, I have to go to the bridge and explain this. And his mother's like, okay, whatever. I don't know. So
I get to keep him here for another year. That's good.
Exactly. Yeah. Because he shows up just when Worf's like, the Bradbury says they're leaving without him, and and Picard's like, no, you're gonna miss your ship. But Wesley's on to something. He thinks he can help find Riker and Deanna, which does seem like a more important thing right now. And and he's the one who isolates it. Geordi kind of dismisses it. He's like, that's just normal background thing, right? But he's like, it's the rhythm. And they set a course based on where that's coming from.
But why at this point did they just go, hey, you can go now?
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
from the bridge to
Go to school.
Bradbury.
Or how about they're in a ship that could catch up to the Bradbury and beam him over.
Yes.
So, right? I don't know.
Or he could
Whatever.
go on a shuttle.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's options here.
Or just do a video oral exam over.
Yeah, because he misses the
something.
oral exam. That's what it is.
Oral. Yes.
And
Yeah, do they not have Zoom?
This is before
the
COVID, guys. This is way before COVID.
yeah, but it's way after it technically, right? So, in terms of this being in the future. Anyway, so then Lwaxana gets rescued here by Riker and Deanna, who blasts Ferrick's equipment and destroys it. But just as he does that, Damon Todd gets the jump on him and takes his phaser. Like, you know, Riker was in control for like 2 seconds. But I don't know. Is there always a Ferengi hiding behind a pillar ready to get the jump on you on a Ferengi ship? Seems like yes. So then Lwaxana makes this deal like, you don't need Riker and Deanna. First of all, Deanna is only half Betazoid. Her powers are no use to you. And Riker, being a high-ranking officer, is Starfleet will pursue him. But not Deanna. It was implied here by Lwaxana, like, well, they're not going to chase Deanna forever, but Riker, he could be a captain.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whether that's true or not, I don't know. That's just what Lwaxana says. So, anyway, so he kind of makes this deal, and this kind of corresponds to the timing here of when the Enterprise does show up. And Lwaxana, you know, kind of overrules her daughter's protest for this. Like, I have to do this. I have to protect you, and well, not so much Riker, but definitely for Deanna. And you know, all those things. So they get to beam out there. What else? Oh yeah, Ferric doesn't like it. But Lwaxana is like, if I have to live the rest of my life with Demon Tog, I will. To help my daughter. Anyway, so Deanna very concerned as she's scurried off here, and she gets to return to the Enterprise with Riker. They've been wearing these clothes for 3 days, so I don't know. They might smell the best. And at least 2 days. Anyway, this is their like, my mother does not want to be with him. I know it, but she's doing this to keep us safe. And as we got Picard talking to the Daemon, Lwaxana is like, no, you can't have me back, Picard. And there was this whole part earlier I didn't mention that she said, Daemon's like, I don't want to hear about your past lovers, any of your past relationships. So she has no idea that there's like this fake relationship presented here with Captain Picard. And Deanna says, you're gonna have to fight for her. You're gonna have to, you know, do this. And he's like, oh, I got something in my bag of tricks. This is Shakespeare.
When he looks so
My love is a fever.
My love's a fever.
For that which longer nurseth the disease.
Tell me more.
In faith, I do not love thee with mine eyes, for they in thee 1,000 errors see, but 'tis my heart that loves what they despise, who, in despite of view, art pleased to dote. Shall I compare thee to a summer's day? Thou art more lovely and more temperate.
And I think we've seen a whole bunch of Picard memes, and just in the last few seconds here, of him just going full ham on his set here. Worf not impressed. Like, I'm not into this. Some of the moves, some of the things that Patrick Stewart does here are so funny to me, as he's playing out. And oh, well, you never told me about him. Well, you didn't want to hear about my past lovers. He's insanely jealous, and you can't kill all of your rivals, Jean-Luc. He's like, I will. I'll kill them all. You know, give me a countdown. You can't want this. But you'll kill her in the process. If I can't have her, no one can. You know. And then he starts this countdown, which I played at the top there. You know, 5. You know, he keeps doing Shakespeare in between, like 6, 5, 4, and then finally they beam her over in a rush, not wanting to be destroyed by the Enterprise. Although, you know, the Ferengi ship is no slouch compared to the Enterprise either. Anyway, but Deanna comes back. They're not looking for the fight with the Enterprise, and now Lwaxana is like, now I think I found my husband for good. You know. Like, she's so happy with how this all played out, I think, with Picard.
I love this. And Picard is wildly uncomfortable with her sitting in his lap on the bridge of his ship.
Like, I guess, like, what the ruse is to prevent a battle from breaking out still at this point. They have to kind of keep him confused. He's like, well, you know, because maybe I won't report this to your superiors or something. I don't know. Wait a bit. This was kind of an interstellar incident, if you ask me. But anyway, so Picard's now kind of dug himself a hole with Lwaxana. You know, she thinks like, "Oh, you're in love with me. Let me stroke thee." You know, as she's
trying to give him touch his ears,
touch his head. You know, like Deanna and Riker in this scene are hilarious. Like, just their expressions, and even Worf here, where he's just like, ugh.
Mr. Wolf.
I don't know. Mr. Wolf. Anyway, Picard says, I need to go show that guy like the mechanism on the aft turbolifts again. And then he tells Wesley to set a course for Beta Z. Warp 9, maximum warp. Let's go. Boom.
Yeah, he gives her the chair too. She's like,
He's like, oh yeah, you sit in my chair. You sit in my chair.
Yeah.
As they warp back, and you think that could be the end of the episode, but no, because we have to wrap this up with what's going on with Wesley. Wesley, comes in to see Picard, and he's like, "Well, you missed your oral exam, and so you're gonna have to wait a whole other year before you can go to the academy." Again, this doesn't make any sense to me, but okay. It seems like he was kind of like doing an official duty for Starfleet. In fact, at the time.
Yeah, no, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah. Anyway, so you're gonna have to repeat it again, but you can stay here on the Enterprise for another year. So the Academy's loss is our gain, he says. But he's like, you know what? You were a hero. You helped save the day. It's not right that you're just an acting ensign. I'm making you ensign with all the responsibilities here thereof, and the uniform and everything. You don't have to wear this thing anymore.
Wait,
with the
I don't
ugly
have to go to the
pants.
academy and I just get promoted? This is fantastic.
But they still make him go to the academy. It's kind of like it anyway. So
Does he go as an ensign then? Like I guess he
no. He gets to like start as a first year cadet, like after he's already been in it. It doesn't make any sense. So it's just like anyway.
do shut up, Wesley.
Yeah, do shut up. Then we get the transition here that they're about to leave Beta Z. They're about to go to leave, and then we get like the first his feet coming over the door, and then we pan up to see this man in this very not quite tailored thing, for the first time. I think this is because like Will Wheaton wanted a raise, and they're like, we won't give you a raise, but we will give you a red uniform. How's that? And I guess that's what we got.
He tells the story that he was trying to negotiate his salary, and they said, well, we won't give you a raise, but we will promote you to lieutenant.
Yeah.
And he was like, on the fictional starship.
Right.
Which
doesn't come because when people get promoted in like real life, they do come with a pay raise. So they're like, okay, lieutenants get paid more than ensigns, right? But they're like, no.
No, I love that. I forgot that this B plot was in this episode, and I think it's nice. I think Wesley gets a rough go too, but I like it. I think it's sweet.
Yeah, and it's like every time I watch Best of Both Worlds, I go, yeah, that's why Wesley was in like the red uniform for that that episode. It happens here 2 episodes earlier.
Wesley actually grew on me as well over the the 3 seasons.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But yeah, it seems like, do you really need to send this guy to the academy since he's a prodigy and he can already do everything a normal officer can do? And
well, he just got into trouble at the academy with Nick Ricardo.
Yeah.
Sure.
He wasn't killing other cadets on the Enterprise. Stargazer says, would he be a non-commissioned officer if he skipped the academy?
Well,
no, he's a Nepo baby. He's a full ensign. He gets to do whatever.
He's a Nepo baby. That's all right.
We love Wesley. Good job, Wesley.
But like, if I was O'Brien, I go, how is this guy superior to me? He didn't even go to the academy, but he's an officer.
He doesn't even go here.
Yeah.
Wesley's not a union man.
Not a union man.
He was a union man.
That's right. Anyway,
and proud mama,
and they're all proud. They're all looking on. Like he doesn't just have 4 dads. He has like 5 dads and 2 moms in some ways with the crew of the Enterprise. I guess but his main mom being his main mom. And he gets to go to warp here for the first time in his red uniform. He looks like the rest, right? And they hit the thing. And I was thinking about this as they were coming out of the episode, because I was like, we always think of like everyone we see here on screen, like the big 7. I was like, Wesley was as much a main cast member for at least half of this show than until he's not.
He was
but he's never really thought of like that. I think like Tasha Yar gets more like thought of amongst this crew sometimes, even though her tenure was much shorter, or even like Pulaski, right? Like who was only there for the 1 season. So it's kind of, I don't know. But then when he leaves the show, it's like, I think it's because of this bad beef he has with Rick Berman after he does leave the show, that he kind of always gets forgotten after that.
I'm forgetting what is
Sorry, Jane, what did you say?
I was just I blanked out on where Ro Laren's gonna fit in here.
Ro Laren comes after basically Will Wheaton leaves the show.
Yeah,
So-
but what was her position? Where?
Helmsman.
where-
Yeah, she
took his
sat where
spot.
he is sitting.
She took
now.
his spot. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Sorry. Yeah, go ahead, Heather. Yeah.
I was gonna say about Will Wheaton and Rick Berman. The way that he has recounted it is that he asked if he could have part of season 4, I believe, or season 3 off to do Dangerous Liaisons. And Rick Berman said, we can shoot around you. And then when it got closer to shooting time, he said, actually, no, you can't take that movie. The first episode of this season is going to be a big Wesley centric episode. We need to have you there. So he declined the movie. And then when he got there, it wasn't at all. He had
one scene.
Derailed it. And then it really felt like he wanted to have him under his thumb and punished him for wanting to leave the show. Cut him out of Nemesis. You could only see him for like 1 second in the wide shot at the wedding, all of those things. So I was really happy to see him, spoiler alert, come back as a traveler.
Yeah, me too. And that's all. That's my understanding of everything between. I don't know, like. Have you ever had a boss who just really is overbearing and wants to play mind games with you and control you psychologically? That's the impression I get of Rick Berman.
Absolutely. From many accounts, like Denise Crosby, Terry Farrell, Will Wheaton, they all speak really poorly of him.
Yeah, I don't think but some of the others like Brent Spiner and like a few of the others, they seem to like him. Or they at least have a good.
Well, it's easy to like him when you're the golden boy.
Right. Literally.
Yeah.
Golden eyes. Yeah. Anyway, like it's just
so what do we think about the Wesley cap on the end of this episode? I think it's really sweet. I like it.
I think I don't like it. It's because they still make him go to the academy after this whole, like, I'm like, fine, he's an ensign now, but like he never went to Starfleet Academy or something. Like Picard just decided like that's what it is. And that's what happens here, but then they decide he will, because they want to write him out of the show basically at the end of next season. And so they say, okay, well now he'll go to the academy. And then he'll become, but it doesn't make a lot of sense to me that like he would start off as a first year cadet after having done all this, after having saved Earth from the Borg and done countless other things. But that's what happens, you know. It just feels weird to me.
How many years is the academy?
4 years.
4 years?
Yeah.
Yeah, you could have skipped the first year for sure.
Yeah, like why do you need to do 4 years at the academy when you've been piloting the flagship of Starfleet?
Right, and
several
like,
years already.
The way they present the academy in this show is like it's hard to get in the academy. You got to pass so many tests, written, oral, like psychological tests, and then we watch this new academy show, which I won't spoil too much for you, Heather. But like it's like. Come on, come one, come all. We could. It doesn't really matter, like you know.
Well, it's also 3,600 years in the future or whatever.
It's about 1,000, yeah. So anyway, I don't know. Maybe their standards got lowered.
No,
so
they just needed people.
They
just need people. Yeah.
Who act like they're in high school.
Yeah. Anyway, so Adam, you said you had some trivia. You had some facts for me, and I need sexy, fun facts with Adam.
Sexy fun facts with Adam, Betazoid edition.
Let's go. Hey, let's just talk about Gene Roddenberry for a second. So here's the scoop on him. Back in the original series days, he began a romantic relationship with Majel Barrett during the Lieutenant before Star Trek even launched. By the time the Star Trek was filming, the relationship was openly known on set, and they actually shared an apartment near the studio.
But he was technically married to somebody else at the time, right?
Right, yeah. They married first in Japan in 1969 and then again in California when his divorce was finalized. And then they remained married until his death in 1991. He, of course, pushed her to have the first major role as first as number one and then as Nurse Chapel. And the network was against that, of course.
So not totally misogynistic.
Well, you know, women could be nurses, but they couldn't be second in command.
But he fought for them to be second in command. It was the studio that would have let him do it. Like it
Yes.
was not.
Yeah.
That was right. So
So at the same time, he had Nichelle Nichols in a relationship.
yes, he did.
And she
Were they running around?
she
During
ended the
original
relationship-
series, yeah.
Yeah,
I had no idea.
she ended the relationship when she found out about Majel Barrett.
Hmm.
And despite the breakup, they maintained a professional working relationship. Nichelle Nichols also recalled later in her biographies that she often found herself in Roddenberry's office nude or partly clothed during the relationship.
Nichelle Nichols said this,
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, yeah?
my.
but not part of their relationship. Like this was outside of that. You're saying?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I guess part of the relationship. So yeah.
Just a lot of costume fittings.
Yeah.
Now, according to everybody, there was no real reputable sources on Next Gen that ever put him with Maria Sirtis or Gates McFadden or Denise Crosby or Michelle Forbes. So there was all talk.
He never tried to get with those young new cast members. He stayed more within his
Nobody's
age
ever
range.
said it happened. Like nobody legitimate.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, let's get into the fun facts now. So this episode is the origin of the snapshot of Picard with the stretched out hand, where he which circulates the web as the internet meme. In that sequence, he's reciting William Shakespeare sonnets to Lwaxana, specifically from the line, "Shall I compare thee to a summer's day?" Yeah. So the scenes on Beta Z were filmed, Dave, you asked this earlier, at Huntington Library Botanical Gardens in Pasadena, California, where Justice was also filmed.
Yeah, so just right. Yeah, it looked familiar, and I feel like they'll come back to this a couple times. Like when, like, oh,
Is that
Bob
the
Seger.
running planet? That one? Where they're running? all
Yeah, the
time?
running planet.
The running planet. Just
Yeah.
Everybody's running. The musical instrument scene to play the Algolian ceremonial rhythms is actually a traditional Indonesian bamboo instrument.
Okay.
This is the first appearance of Ethan Phillips, as you called out earlier. And turned out to be a great character in Star Trek along the way. This ship was the ship that was supposed to carry Wesley to the Starfleet Academy was called the Bradbury, after the pioneering science fiction author Ray Bradbury, who wrote Fahrenheit 491.
And the Martian Chronicles.
451.
451, pardon me.
Yes.
Gosh.
Michael
Thank
Moore made Fahrenheit.
As I
9/11.
said that, I knew I was wrong. So I appreciate you calling me out. This is the first time we see the Umax as making its appearance in the show. And the torture chair was actually a dental chair. Go figure.
Yeah.
Same thing.
Yes, same thing. Lwaxana later recalls this adventure in the episode called The Forsaken later on. I don't remember that.
That's the Deep Space Nine episode.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's telling Nodo about it when they're stuck in the turbo lift.
Oh, okay. When he goes into the bucket.
When he goes into the bucket and she says, "I can swim." Iconic.
Hmm.
That's right.
This contains one of Lwaxana's 2 implied nude scenes in Next Generation. The other was in Cost of Living. Excuse me.
There's a great gif of that too, where she's like walking naked in her wedding and she gives a little wink. Love it.
She was also nude in the hot tub with the mud bath with Alexander and the other nude scene.
Mhm.
Not fully.
This is the first episode in which Beta Z is shown. The planet scenes were previously used to depict Mintaka 3 in Who Watches the Watchers.
I didn't notice that.
Yeah, lots of reuse, right? Riker says, referring to the Beta Z flowers, Muktuk lives for hundreds of years. Actually, Muktuk is an Inuit food made out of whale blubber.
I thought I'd heard that word before. Well, it's like remember that episode with like the Darmok, and they're like, well, what, like, tell me what this word means, and it can mean like a lot of things on a lot of different planets, right? Like, but
Okay, while Captain Picard takes the unusual step of granting the full field commission to Wesley Crusher, an underage teenager with no formal instruction, It is well established there are non-commissioned officers in Starfleet. That is, individuals who enlist for service without going for the 4 years of Starfleet Academy. Wesley could have simply been made a petty officer until he left for the academy, so he didn't need to promote him to officer rank.
Yeah, could have made him a warrant officer, I guess, too. I think that's more of a specialized role, but yeah.
After his character's promotion on the show, Gene Roddenberry gave Will Wheaton his second lieutenant bars he earned in the Army Air Corps. Second lieutenant being the equivalent of an ensign in the U.S. Navy. Present at that ceremony were General Colin Powell and he was the former chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff.
Yeah, he was the one selling the weapons of mass destruction to the UN before the Iraq War.
That's right. I think I'll leave it there, Dave.
Okay, well, thank you, Adam. Always appreciate the facts and learn some things. All right, well, let's get into our ratings for this episode and score it. And let's see what we want to put down for this. All right, Jane, would you like to go first?
Yeah, sure. I would put this 7.5.
7.5 from Jane. How about you, Adam?
I was gonna go with 7.5, but you guys talked me up. I'm gonna go to 8.
All right. How about you, Heather?
It's a 10 for me. Easy.
Okay. Yeah, I'm in the 9s. I don't know if I'm at a 10, but I'm more than I'm like a 9.3. So I'm going there.
Well, let's get the ratings from chat. I'm very pleased with the ratings that we've given as a group. Now, chat did not like it as much. Sam says his rating 6.5. Sam,
which is the same as the IMDb rating for this episode. So it's a
okay.
bit.
Jody says, watch it again. This episode screams season 1 quality at best. 4 out of 10, and I'm being generous.
I think that he's a lot like those friends you mentioned when you were growing up and they would talk about these episodes.
Yeah.
And then Stargazer did say, I do agree the outfits are impressive on this episode. But then followed that up with 5 out of 10, and that's generous.
Well, I think that she's a polarizing character. We just happen to have a panel here that was willing to enjoy the episode, so I thank you for
agree.
That. Yeah, I have no problems. I love her. She's not the reason I didn't give it a 10. I feel like there's other great ones out there that
I need to put Jody's 6.5 in here wherever he is.
Jody said 4.
4?
Yes, Sam said 6.5.
4.
I shouldn't have told you. I should have let you put a 6.5 for Jody. Take that, Jody.
Yeah. Okay. Just wanted to so what's that turn it into? 7.8. All right. Well, we won't let the others vote after this. Okay. All right. And with all that said, let's look ahead to season 3, episode 25. It is called Transfigurations. And in this one, the Enterprise rescues a critically injured amnesiac who is undergoing a mysterious transformation. We did this as a radio theater once upon a time.
We did. Yep.
Yeah. So
I don't remember this one at all. I'm sure I will once I start watching it, but just from this screen cap and the title, I don't remember it at all. I'm sure it's because it's between Ménage à Troi and Best of Both Worlds.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So look out for that. Now, right now, we only have Kevin signed up for this one, so I'm looking for a panel. I will be messaging the chat for it. So, Adam, you're muted if you're saying something.
Sorry, I've got a bit of a cold, so I'm coughing, but I'll come, of course, because I like Monday nights. This is my great way to end a Monday.
Okay.
Yes, right. I'll go as well because I don't remember this episode. Might as well watch it and discuss it with all of you.
Excellent. So got Kevin, Adam, and Heather set to do this one. So look out for that. And then we do have Best of Both Worlds coming up after the week after that. So we'll be figuring out that panel.
That's not already all booked?
I think it is.
I'm surprised if it's not.
I was trying to hold a spot, but yeah, we'll see. Adam and Heather are there though, but so.
That's nice. Thank you.
look out for that. And we'll be doing both episodes, by the way.
I'm wearing my Lwaxana outfit for the rest of this season, and it's going to get better each week.
Very nice.
Quick question here. Nog or Wesley, who do you like more? I like Nog more.
I like Nog more. It's hard. I love them all.
Yeah.
She loves them all. Like children, Can't have your favorites, but can you?
I like Nog too. He's a good character.
Mm-hmm.
Wesley or Jake? I'd probably take Wesley.
Oh, Wesley.
Wesley.
What's wrong with Jake?
Nothing wrong. I just like Wesley more.
It was either or, Heather. I pick Wesley.
No, I don't pick.
Jake,
I
go.
like everybody.
Also, check out our other stuff here on the channel. We just wrapped up a whole season of Starfleet Academy with what was the season 1, episode 10? It was called Rubicon. But you can check out the whole season of Starfleet Academy, season 1. We talked all about it. Adam loved it every minute, and it was great. We'll be back.
I was satisfied with the
it.
ending. I'll say that it was a good, satisfying ending.
Yeah, for sure. Also, every Wednesday we're talking Survivor. Right now we're into season 50, and we will be talking about the newest episode, Knife to the Heart, on Wednesday night. So look out for that too. But not to mention, For All Mankind is coming back next week. So I guess we'll be back on Mondays for All Mankind, starting on, I guess it will be March 30th. So the two.
Sorry, are we doing Mondays For All Mankind and Thursdays then with next?
I think that's the plan right now. Yeah, we're gonna because For All Mankind comes out on Friday, right? So so the plan is I think we're going to do For All Mankind on Mondays because if the episode comes out Friday, then it gives us time to watch it, do it Monday, and then we'll do the Thursday TNG basically.
I'm going to have to miss the For All Mankind premiere. I have tickets to the symphony that night.
Oh, okay. Well, that's too bad.
I know.
Yeah. Well, look out for that though. We'll be talking For All Mankind. You can at least send us your rating and tell us what you thought, because you'll have time to watch it before we do the podcast. So, I guess we could always do it on the Sunday if we had to, but
Yeah.
or something like that too.
We'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out. Anyway, so those are all our podcasts, all our great stuff out there, and have a wonderful and safe St. Patrick's Day tomorrow to all those who celebrate. Make sure you wear your green. Anyway, we'll leave you with a quote. What will we leave you with here? Yeah, I got one. Okay, we'll see you next time, everyone. And until then, live long and podcast.
Doesn't he realize that I am the daughter of the 5th house of Beta Z, holder of the sacred chalice of Reeks?
The sacred chalice of Reeks is an old clay pot with mold growing inside it.
Oh, well, perhaps one day when you're older and wiser, you'll understand.
Beam up some Star Trek content with Live Long and Podcast. A roundtable movie discussion with Hey, did you see this one? And take a peek into the darkness with Heard Noise, Must Investigate with Michael Chan. Watch us duke it out on trivial debates. And let's chat about TV with the Super Mater Brothers. It's all here on the United Federation of Podcasts.